Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Lewis Brown, and this is my first day as the Local 1000 president. Today is June 30th, 2021, and I wasn't for sure if we would start these Stewart calls immediately after I took office. However, Frank Askin was inquiring about this, and I think it's a great idea to get started. I may not have all your answers this evening, and I apologize for that. I may have to do some research and get back with you. I know it's a short week for some people, and people are taking vacations, and I may not be able to get things done as fast as I would like. So I hope you can bear with me. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Everyone can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So,
got you now.
okay, very good. And I'm also Facebook Live at the same time. I know these things are called Stewart calls, but I really believe in my heart they should be for everyone represented by Local 1000. We're trying to, we're not going to try, we're going to create a new perception, a new reality that we're going to be transparent and we're going to be inclusive of everyone. So I had a long day. I had a chance to meet a lot of the staff. As you know, Local 1000, the staff here, a lot of them are telecommuting the same way you are. So it was a very fun day. It went by really fast. And I think what I'm going to do is just open up to questions, because I'm sure many of you have questions about my leadership and how I'm going to do things. So I'm just going to open the floor up. I don't have an agenda. I'm kind of off script, unrehearsed. And so I'm going to give you my very best, considering that I just came into work on my first day. Okay, so I see we have some people in the queue. I see Alfredo Cortez, Susan Rodriguez, Angelique Marino, Carolyn Altos. I believe I saw Stephen O'Leary.
So we have Robert Bays has his hand raised.
Sure. Okay, Robert Bays.
Hey, how's it going, Richard?
I'm
Congratulations on your first day. Looks like they got you an office going, huh?
Yes, thank you, Robert. Today's been really busy. I'm sitting in the office. You can see that I'm looking into Facebook, and I'm also looking into a laptop. And the communications director, Brian Nash, has been nice enough to stay and help me get started. And also Lisa Matheson in IT. These are high quality people who are helping me get through all of this on my first shot.
Awesome, that's great. Yeah, at least I wasn't sure if it was gonna be able to get off the ground. I saw you did that video earlier. It looked like they didn't quite have you set up right yet, but I'm glad we got a steward's call in. The question I have for you is that 50% dues reduction. A lot of people were asking about that, about the membership. So is that happening on this check that's tomorrow, or is that going in on the next one? When does that take place? I know you had a lot of your supporters who are wanting to get signed up, but they want to know that they're getting it at that 50% reduced rate. So could you give us a better understanding of when that goes into effect?
So
Thank you.
when I campaigned, I said a 50% reduction rate on day one. And I still plan on doing that. However, since we have a new CFO, and I haven't been given all the financial information about the union on my first day, which is what I wanted, and it's a short week, you have to give me a little bit of time on that reduction of dues. As you know, Robert, I told Lansing County that we'd have an emergency board meeting to get them $2 million. And so we're still on schedule to do that, hopefully next week. And we'll send a notice out to the DLC presidents. So yes, I still plan on honoring my 50% dues reduction, but I've been advised that fiscally I need to look at all the finances first to ensure that by reducing the dues by 50%, that we don't find ourselves in a situation where we can't pay our bills.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, keep us updated on that because, like I said, I know that some of the people who support you have been wanting to get signed back up. Like I said, they wanted that. Make sure they're getting in on that. you know, lower rate.
Right.
And the other thing I wanted to ask is about the, you know, because talking about trying to get people signed up anyways, like, hey, your money's not going to be used on politics. And I know you've been saying that there's a dues declaration letter that you signed and that you've opted out. But we haven't really been able to confirm that with other people that that's official. So do we have anything published or anyone's pay stub we can see or anything that kind of shows that what the reduced rate is that you're paying right now?
So I did this months ago, and they sent me a letter in the mail from the union. I believe it's from the accounting office. And they stated that they wouldn't use any of my money on politics, and that would be my letter for each fiscal year. And so I have told people under my leadership, you can sign up and fill out a membership dues declaration letter that's on my website. We will have a professional letter on professional letterhead, Local 1000, that tells a person you can sign up, be a full dues paying member. That's the only way you can be a full dues paying member, or you're not paying any money at all. And that you can instruct Local 1000 to not use any of your money on anything that's not germane to contract negotiations and job representation. That's what I said, and that's what I meant, and that can be done because you can't make someone, you can't use someone's money for political action if they sign up to be a dues-paying member. But that's never been talked about in the past from the prior leadership, and it's always been that way. But it was never talked about, it was never publicized. So I'm the first leader to tell you, you can sign up, be a full dues-paying member, and you don't have to have any of your money used on politics.
Okay, next we have Carolyn Alice.
Hi. Yes, I wanted to ask because I just got an email today as a Deber that the SBAC was canceled until further notice. And I also watched your video this morning, so I just wanted to know approximately how many people came to you with that concern that we should not have it, and why? Like,
Okay. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I was asked several times to delay this SBAC. I gave one person's name, the DLC 762 President Harold Fong Jr. I was also asked by Frank Askin, Scott B. Smith, Mary Dela Cruz, the DLC President 772, Mary Dela Cruz, and a few other people that I can't grab their names really quickly. So since we're having a new election for VP of bargaining, and I wasn't allowed to come over earlier to kind of get a feel for the operation of Local 1000, it was decided that it's best that we delay the SBAC and we let the election play out for the VP of bargaining, which I'm sure Robert Bays and Kevin Menninger, Irene Green, Kim Colwert, and Ramona Kramer, I'm sure they appreciate that because the VP of bargaining does play a role in the SBAC.
I understand, but that's like only a handful of people, and it doesn't seem like you consulted the SPAC regarding if we wanted to hold our elections or not, or the rest of the membership. So It feels like a very small portion of people are deciding what's going on, and if we're being transparent, like it would be nice for us to have a say.
I agree. That's a great point. That's a great point. That's a great point.
Thank you for answering.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Next we have Colin Crow.
Hi, how's it going?
How you doing?
Just got on the call right now, so I don't know if we just started, but on the SPAC that's coming up, let me introduce myself. I'm the new DLC president for 784. I I don't mind it being actually pushed back a little bit because I actually have 3 deeper positions that need to be filled. So, giving us the extra time to make sure everything gets done, we fill them, and then it gets reported in the union so that they can actually be at the SBAC and actually be a part of the voting for the Bumpkin chair. I think that's actually a good thing. So, my 2 cents.
Well, thank you. And listen, I know everyone has strong opinions about this SBAC. Some people want it to happen as scheduled. Some people don't want it to happen. Some people don't want it to happen at all. So, this is a hot button issue, but there's also a hot button issue about the re-election for VP of bargaining. Some people are very upset that Irene Green is not the VP of bargaining because they're having this re-election through no fault of her own. Now she has to run all over again and try to win. So I understand people's opinions about this matter. I really do. And, I don't want people to think that I'm just making all these decisions on my own, even though there are certain decisions I can make on my own. And so, the prior president made decisions on her own, and she would receive criticism. So it's not going to be any different for me. I expect that, and I respect that.
Okay, next we have Frank Askin.
Yes. Good evening, Richard and Mr. President, and thank you for taking my call this evening. Thank you for bringing this steward's call back. I just want to make one correction and make myself perfectly clear.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Scott Smith did not ask you or agree with you on the SBAC. It was for the voting commission.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's what we were agreeing with you on. We did not agree with you on the SBAC, so I just wanted to make ourselves perfectly clear on that.
You know what? Maybe I'm mistaken, Frank. And I was on Annika's call last night, so I don't have that tape. I'd have to go back and review that tape. But you're right. You and Scott and a few others talked about this election, and basically you wanted to make sure we have a good, clean, fair election. And I haven't had a chance to meet the elections committee or the vendors. I'm still in the efforts of doing that, along with setting up the debates for the election. First time Local 1000 will have a debate or a dialogue between the candidates, because some people don't like the word debate. They can, each candidate respects each other. So, I was shocked last night, Frank, because remember, Frank, you asked me about this Stewart call. Would I keep it going? You asked me last week, and I didn't get a chance to answer, and then you asked me again last night. And so the reason why we're having this Stewart call so quickly is because of you, Frank, and I respect you, and I'm glad that you kept asking me that question. You wouldn't let me duck it.
Well, I thank you, and I just want to let you know that me and Scott Smith do not dislike you.
Okay.
We're just passionate in our feelings and what we believe.
And let me say this to you, Frank, before you get off. The reason why I like you and Scott B. Smith so much, because you tell me what it is, and you're just like me. You don't talk behind my back. You don't try to destroy me when no one's looking. If you have something to say to me, you let everybody know how you feel about me. And that's what I love and respect about both of you gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, next we have Robert Bays.
Wait. So Robert's asked one question. I would like the other people to first have a chance.
Sorry, go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, so I know Robert's already asked one question. So I'm trying to practice for this Robert Rules of Order. I'm trying to get myself in practice for it. Stephen O'Leary, I see you looking. So can we get to the other people and get through the first round so I can practice my Robert Rules of Order?
All right, then we'll go to Stephen O'Leary next.
Thank you.
Hi, Stephen O'Leary, DLC 723 president. Richard, I just want to share, I know Cullen is a new president of the DLC. He was mentioning about, for the SBAC, about being able to fill the seats. And I think it's important, this morning, as a DLC president, since our term started today, Cullen, you're able to make appointments and they take effect immediately. All you need to do is send an email to Annika, and I would also include, if you can. Richard, did you get an email address yet?
First thing in the morning.
Well, and I usually include the officers like Richard as well as the David Jimenez and also Stephanie Ains and Janine Tang and Gino Alvarez when you send an email in making your appointment. The rules are you send it to Annika to let her know. It takes effect immediately, subject to confirmation by your e-board or your membership at their next meeting. And then once your e-board or your membership approves it, then you send an email to Annika with the minutes saying that they've been approved, and they're solid as a Deaver for your DLC. Also, you can do that for senior stewards and any other vacant positions you have. So I just wanted to share that, Richard, with the new presidents out there. And actually, I made 3 appointments today, and Annika's already processed them, and it's great. Thank you very much.
All right, and by the way, this is the first time on the steward call, and I should have said this at the very beginning, because you know I'm about transparency. Anybody represented by Local 1000 will be welcome to these calls. I think the steward's name will have to be removed and put a new name on it. However, we're also going to open this up to our staff here at Local 1000, management and the UAW 2350 rank and file. So everyone will feel like they have a vested interest in what I say, and they can watch my actions and my words. Okay, next question.
The next is Louisa Lima.
Hi, Richard. It's Louisa. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I heard Steve Alaria already covered what I was going to say to Mr. Cullen, but I wanted to reiterate on the question that Carolyn Lewis had posed about the SBAC being postponed. And I watched part of your video today, but I didn't finish it. And I understand that there were some concerns raised by some of the DLC presidents. But I'm going to speak for myself as a chair, and I'm pretty sure we have other chairs on this call, and I advise them to chime in if they want to, because I know the importance of having the vice president of bargaining being part of SBACs. But for this SBAC in particular is an election SBAC, where the chairs and the entire bargaining team are either re-voted in or they're replaced with the new incoming bargaining team that they would have. I think that, and this is just my suggestion, that it would be a good opportunity, because I am also in support of the debate idea that you have, because it gives an opportunity for our membership to see and hear what each candidate has, to offer or bring to the table. But I personally would say, in my opinion, that I don't think this SBAC necessarily needs the vice president of bargaining in place. And if so, you still currently have the current vice president in place who could possibly help you and the contract department facilitate this upcoming SBAC. But that's just my opinion. I don't know how the rest of the team feels about it, but I speak as a chair who is currently in place.
Well, thank you for your comment. And I realize that a lot of people, listen, let's just be real with ourselves. You've been under the leadership of one person for 13 straight years. All of that is going to be radically different. And so the interpretation of the policy file, as I was instructed this morning, is interesting to me. And there's certain things I can do and there's certain things I can't do. That requires the support of the board, which I'm sure DLC President Kevin Healy and DLC President Stephen Larry and a few others know quite well. And so what's going to happen is a lot of things are at play. And that's why they call me Richard DeReal. And so I'm trying to work with people. And I work with some people, I upset other people. It appears to me I'm not going to make everyone happy. And that's just real talk. So the SBAC has been delayed. Now, I told you when I was campaigning, outside of the 50% reduction, I see your question, Mary Dela Cruz, and I'll get to it in 1 second. To do term limits for that, we have to change the policy file. But when I was campaigning, I said that, the vice presidents would have full-time union leave, and I didn't care about the board. I was going to put them on the union leave myself as the president. So I've been asked to be reasonable and professional this morning. And so I can't put these vice presidents on full-time union leave. I've been asked to go by the policy file and let the board decide. So we know that the current vice president, Tony Owens, only has 1 week. So, when we have this emergency board meeting, this issue of putting the vice presidents on full-time union leave will come up. And then the board can decide if they should get full-time union leave or they want 3 weeks or 1 week. I still say that the vice presidents should be on full-time union leave like they did in the past. But the past was changed in the last administration. So a lot of things are going to be different. And I know that's going to make people feel uncomfortable. I am trying to work in a professional manner and build alliances from 3 different groups. The prior administration, those supporters, the MTC, United Members for Change supporters, and of course, the people that put me in this chair, that gave me the opportunity to talk to you as your president. So we have 3 different groups who all want what they want. And somehow, some way, we all have to unify and keep this union not just going, but to create the #1 union in the world. So everything that was done in the past may not be done the same way in the future if we're going to eliminate the status quo for which I was elected on. So I got to figure this out quickly, how to keep everybody happy and get you that money that I promised and build that strike fund to get you that money. I know you want this SBAC to happen right away. Maybe if the current administration had contacted me and brought me over sometime the first week of June or the second week of June, then everything could have stayed on schedule. But that didn't happen. And I'm lucky to be sitting here in this chair talking to you, considering that I had to encounter the police at my house on May 25th, 2021. So maybe I'm just fortunate to be alive right now to talk to you. Next question.
Next, we have Kevin Healy.
Hey, Richard, I saw that Susan, as chair of one, raised her hand right.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
No, I was next, but I'm willing to swap positions because I have a feeling she was going to follow what Louisa was going to say as a chair.
Okay.
So if we agree to that, I'll swap with her.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Healy, the OC president.
Hey, Susan.
Hi.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Susan Rodriguez, chair of Unit 1. So I want to, I'm in agreement with Louisa and her opinion in regards to the SBAC and how it should be moving forward. We have a process in place that needs to take place. And so, I will speak myself for Unit 1 as the chair that needs to happen.
Okay.
The other question I want to ask at this point is, are you going to have the chairs out on union leave? I know you said the officers, but how about the chairs?
The bunk chairs?
The bunk chairs, yes.
No.
Our union leave ended today.
Right. So we'll have to revisit that. We'll have to revisit that.
Why?
Well, our current contract expires June 30th, 2023. So
Right.
I've been asked many times, why are those chairs out on full-time union leave?
So I can explain why chairs are out on
Okay.
union leave. And I actually go back to work 3 days a month just to make sure that I keep my connection with my work site. But one of the things is that we look, and one of the responsibilities of a chair is to review all the notices that are sent from the departments to SEIU Local 1000. And our responsibility is representation of our members. And if we are not out on union leave, we are not able to do that.
And I would simply say to you that maybe you're right, and maybe some of your work can be given to the staff here at Local 1000.
It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Thus far this year, and we've already had this conversation, Richard, a couple of weeks ago.
We did.
We have received almost 289 notices since January 1st. We are in the middle of a pandemic where the departments are changing their policies and procedures on COVID-19, on mask wearing, on all sorts of different things, and things are being changed and updated on a daily basis. And it takes our expertise and knowledge of our units and our people and what's going on with our folks in our units to be able to review that, knowledgeable. We are a union which is member run. Our staff does not run this union.
And so
We
what?
do.
Okay, hold on,
And
wait a
so
minute,
it's
wait, hold on a
important for
second,
me-
wait a
for
minute,
the
wait a
chairs
minute,
to-
wait a minute, hold on,
No,
wait a
I
minute.
want to finish my statement, Richard.
Yeah, go ahead and finish, please.
So it's important that the chairs who have been elected to represent their units are able to review these notices, make those decisions, reach out to our members, have conversations with them, because I reach out to all of my stewards in Unit 1 in regards to a notice, if it's their department, to ask them what's going on, how does this impact you, does it impact you negative, do we need to meet with the state on this, to do meet and confers. I actually have meet and confers set up for the next 2 weeks, even though I don't have union leave, but I'm able to get, so I'm making it work. I've actually taken the whole month of July off to make sure that our members are represented in a Unit 1 capacity.
So let me be crystal clear with you.
I really ask you and urge you
all
to
right.
make sure that you take us out on union leave.
So let me be crystal clear with you, Susan Rodriguez. Since you're talking with passion tonight, let me pick up my pace and talk with passion right back with you. Maybe if you have felt that strongly about that, you should have been talking to your current president to ensure that she had put me on full-time union leave so I'd been able to have a peaceful transfer of power to understand the importance of your job. But that didn't happen. So since that didn't happen, but now all of a sudden you want me to rush and do things for you and everyone else, and you keep talking about members. First of all, our contract is for all represented employees, not just dues-paying members. So maybe we have a difference of opinion on this. But that's the great thing about being in America and speaking your mind. You have your opinion, and I definitely have mine.
So I just want to respond, Richard.
Yes.
The request for union leave for everybody was requested, but it was denied by our outgoing president. And she wanted to leave it to you to make that decision. So now I'm appealing to you
Right.
to make the decision
Right.
to make sure that our members are being represented on a daily basis in regards to their work sites.
And what I would say back to you is it appears to me the former president picked and chose what she did. So since she was picking and choosing and people accepted what she did, then I should be allowed to pick and choose what I do as well.
But how does that fall back on me as a responsibility?
What I'm saying is elections, when people vote, and people didn't vote for the status quo to do things the way they've always done it. And that's why I'm sitting in this chair. So when my supporters are watching this, and they see me talking to you, and they see your passion, and I'm going to match your passion with my passion. Now, do I know everything? No, I don't. But you don't know everything either. So what you say, I want to know the staff here at Local 1000 that helps you do all these things. I want to know what their opinion is. And that's why I said tonight, I'm opening up these calls, not Stewart calls, but these calls for Local 1000 so that the UAW 2350 can put their 2 cents in. Because I would like to know how they feel about what you just said, along with these other bunk chairs, along with these other people who've been on full-time union leave for 5-10 years. I want to know what they have to say as well. Let's move on to the next question. Thank you.
Next, we have Randall Stan.
I can tell this is going to be interesting. So I have a question regarding the recording of these so-called steward meetings. What is the purpose of these steward meetings if you're going to be recording people?
Well, as you know, this is my first steward call, but we're going to change the name to make it a call for Local 1000 represented employees. That's the first thing. And so I'm working with the staff here, and they had mentioned that, maybe we should record this tonight.
So is the purpose of these steward calls, or whatever you want to call them, to actually get input from the actual people that are working as stewards and doing the work in Local 1000 to get their input? So if you're going to be recording people, do you think that people really want to be on this call with you?
I'm sorry, I missed that. I'm sorry. Can you say it again?
You're recording it, so just replay it.
I'm sorry. I did not hear what you said. Can you please repeat what you just said?
I'm sorry.
Can you please repeat what you just said? There was some noise in the office.
what is the purpose of your calls if you're going to be reporting people? And the whole idea, I'm assuming, of steward call is to get input from stewards. What is the purpose of recording everybody? Do you really think that people are going to jump on this call knowing that you're recording everything that they say, and you think that you're going to actually get honest input?
Maybe you didn't hear me the first time. This is my, hold on, let me finish, because I knew tonight was going to be an interesting conversation. First of all, this is my first steward's call, okay? But I'm calling this a people call for Local 1000 represent employees. That's the first thing. I told you the second thing was, Frank Askin asked me twice, once last week and this week, to do it, and that's what I'm doing. Third thing, this recording, you know I'm not tech savvy. So the person here trying to help me do a good job asked to record the call, and I said I don't have a problem with it because I stand by what I say. That's why the call's being recorded. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Move on to the next question. Let's move on.
You're just going to cut people.
Move on.
Next we have Paulina.
So, Richard, Paulina Vasquez, California State Lottery. Been with the state for 10 years. Prior to that, I was with Teamsters Union. First of all, I want to say that there's a difference between being professional and standing up for yourself and bullying people around. And
right.
I'm very put off with a lot of what I've been seeing. You know, we have a lot of dysfunction in this union, and it seems to be getting worse. I've been very reluctant to even engage with everything that's been going on. I'm very politically involved. My father is a federal judge. I grew up with two people who are sitting legislators in the California legislation right now. So when I want shit done at the California lottery, I can pick up a phone call and call a legislator who'll breathe down the lottery's neck. And I'm very worried about our image. I have a couple of friends within CalHR as well. You know, I hold a legal degree, so, you know, I'm connected with attorneys. My best friend growing up is a legislator, California state legislator, is one of my assemblymen. And I'm not hearing good feedback. And I tell you, I really appreciate your passion in wanting to move things forward and build alliances. And even if our entire union unified, I think there's been some damage because ultimately we work for the state of California. It doesn't matter if our governor's a Republican or Democrat. Those legislators vote on things. They make things happen. CalHR decides on a lot of things. And if they're thinking that we're a complete joke, or they're calling our union president Kanye West, because you're just such a passionate person, but you know, there's a negative spin out there. Man, I'm worried. I am worried. I didn't vote for you. I didn't support you, but I'm okay with change. I'm always been middle of the road. Hated Donald Trump, but he was still my president. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just want to move things forward in the right direction for our members, everyone. You know, I don't care what your political position is. I don't care. But ultimately, it's about doing the right thing for our people. And the people at the lottery, for my people, because I'm kind of our lead steward at the lottery. I mentor all of the stewards that come in. You know, we hold Zoom meetings statewide with our people. Sometimes when it's a really important issue, we invite non-union members as well to solicit their feedback. We have a lot of open tables and active JLMCs. And I'm going to say that our Unit 1 chair sits on those tables with us to provide feedback as well and is involved. You know, I'm out, you know, we've got 2 tables, one this week, one next week, active tables that have been going on. And so I do support the union leave for our chairs because they do a lot of other stuff besides bargaining things. But at the end of the day, Richard, I'm going to tell you, I need to see a little less bullying. I am so turned off right now. So are my stewards. So are our members. It's like the grand bullshit of political scale across the nation has suddenly just, it's within our union too. It's infected our union. There's a lot of this side, that side, and it's very off-putting. Very off-putting. So I wish you the best. I'd like to see the best side of you shine. I think we need to be really careful because you're the leader of this union now. Move it forward with pride. I hate to see these accusations, this bullying mentality, this, excuse my language, this bitch slapping of people. It's not right. At the end of the day, we're all passionate about our union. We want what's right and what's fair in our workplaces. Let's just get together and move it forward. This referring back to what Yvonne did, what Yvonne didn't do, who gives a shit? You're the president now. Lead the way, man. Hold your head up. And, you know, I don't like to be embarrassed in the media. And if you Google search me, you're going to find out that I'm kind of the unofficial press secretary at the lottery. When I want to slap the lottery, media comes to me. I've got a lot of media contacts myself. But, you know, I grew up with Adam Ashton. He's the editor at SecB. So, you know, I'm not shy about doing the right thing for my people. And there's always going to be criticism. I just want to say, I wish you luck in the way that you handle it. I don't think you're doing as good of a job as you're capable of. And I'm going to just keep my fingers crossed and hope things get better and keep moving forward. Because right now, man, we're very dysfunctional. Very dysfunctional. So I just want to say thank you. And that's all I have to say.
Okay. And I would like to respond to that.
Go ahead.
You know, it's interesting about our union. And people say, let's just go forward. You can't go forward until you analyze and study your past and see where you made your mistakes. That's the first thing. Second thing is, my passion sometimes is construed for being, quote, an angry black man, but that's racist. But that's the country I live in. That's the country I was born in. That's the country I was going to die for. And I'm going to call people out every time they come at me with that. So the third thing about the comment about Kanye West, because we're both black men and we're both outspoken, that's kind of racist too. Fourth thing, I want people to keep speaking out and keep speaking your mind and don't talk behind my back and confront me and talk to me. Now, some people may say that I'm too emotional. Yeah, well, this emotion and this passion put me in this position because people are tired of the status quo of this union. Next thing about those politics. I hear so much about these politicians and how great they are and they approve our contracts. People are living paycheck to paycheck in this union. Okay? Whether it was with furloughs at Schwarzenegger, Brown with POP in 2010 or 2012, or this current governor, and we were scheduled for 2 days pay loss for 2 straight years. So this idea of us, you know, relying on politicians to help feed our families, while we lost money in this current contract, those politicians didn't give up a dime up there in the state legislature. So I don't care about these politicians. And if they want to laugh and talk about me because my name is stuck down their neck, then I'm doing my job. That's what I'm doing. And so the reason why the media is so interested in me is because they know that I'm not playing these games with them. And they're scared. I'm not scared. Okay? And even though the police were at my house and I could have lost my life on May 25th, did I get a call from anybody from this union saying, oh, are you okay, our future president-elect? Exception, President DLC 752 Kevin Healy. And him and I have some disagreements on that as well. So this is who I am. And if you're embarrassed by my leadership, I respect that. Okay? But that same passion, that same desire that got me in here is how I'm going to lead this. Now, I've been asked this morning to look at things a little differently, to be reasonable. Remember, I went to put them VPs on full-time union leave immediately, and I got pushback because I was verifying my mouth. And I know a lot of people in this union do not like me. I respect that. That's why I was going to die for this country, so you don't have to like me. So you don't have to, quote, take a vaccination shot if you don't want to. That you can speak your mind and you can protest peacefully in this great country. This is how it is. But I'm glad we're having this great conversation tonight. And I knew this was coming. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. So we're going to move on to the next question. Next question, please.
Next we have Karen Franklin.
Oh, by the way, there are people having a hard time getting on to this call tonight. I don't understand why that's happening. So, okay.
Hi, Richard. This is Karen Franklin. I'm Albion in San Quentin State Prison.
How you doing?
So I am DLC 752.
Okay.
And first off, let me remind you that Kevin Healy was going to speak, and he switched with Susan Rodriguez, and we didn't get back to him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just a reminder.
Oh, okay, so we have to go to Kevin Healy next. I'm sorry, Kevin. Okay.
Yeah, it just got slipped.
Okay.
Anyways, and I'm also the vice chair of Bargaining Unit 20. So I do have firsthand knowledge of how much the the chairs do.
Okay.
And they work very hard. I know a lot of things, especially I work in a prison. A lot of things within my department would have never gotten taken care of if we didn't have the chair to fight for us. The chairs can't fight for us, can't do the stuff they do with the department heads if they're at work. Right? They really need to be out there because they make our work life better for our members. And as far as punishing any of them for what our past leadership did, it's not fair to them because they didn't do they didn't make her do what she did. They still continued whether they agreed with her, they didn't agree with her. I know the chairs fought hard, worked hard, did the right thing for our members when it came to fighting and doing things for our members, no matter what Yvonne Walker said, did, or felt. So I'm very passionate about them being able to continue to fight 100% for our members and do what's needed for our members, and they just can't give 100% if they are at work.
So I want to thank you for calling in and stating that and supporting what the other bunk chairs have said. You know, I got elected to stop the status quo. And there's a lot of status quo in this union that's been going on for 13 unlucky, listen to me on this, 13 unlucky years. And everyone wants to know on day one, what would I do? What actions would I take that was going to send a clear-cut message that the status quo was over? What I didn't know is that I would have people supporting me. So I understand that the bunk chairs feel like they're being punished. What I want to know is, why is the staff not able to do that work? Something is not right. And if we don't have enough staff here, how long have we not had enough staff here? Because in my personal opinion, you're taking a job away from a person within UAW 2350. So these conversations are going to be very interesting, and no one's going to be quite happy. But the SBAC has been delayed. We don't know exactly when the SBAC will take place, if it's this year, or it may be in January. No one's quite for sure, because we don't know how this election is going to turn out for the VP of bargaining, because they may protest this election and do an election all over again. No one knows anything. We have to be patient, and you have to give me some time to work over here, to try to, build a relationship with the staff, to see how they've done things and get their opinion, because they may have a better idea on how to get a lot of things done. Because we don't know if the staff was ever incorporated in some of these things. You keep talking about our members, and I keep telling you, your responsibility is not just to the members, it's for the represented employees of this union.
They are members too, whether they're paid dues paying members or they're non-dues paying members. They are members. All 96,000 of us are all members.
No, that is, wait a minute.
In my mind, what I do for the people.
No, wait a minute.
It doesn't matter to me whether they pay dues or they don't pay dues. To me, we are all members because we are all workers, state workers under SEIU's umbrella.
And so let me be clear. So let me
separate them.
No, you do separate them. No, yes, you do. No, there is a separation. You're not going to confuse my words. There's a separation between representing almost 100,000 employees versus 56,000 and something dues paying members. Dues paying members vote. Wait a minute. Dues paying members vote, and they have certain privileges that the rest do not have. So we're not going to confuse our words. So you may have done that under the old regime, but you won't do that with me. Okay. Thank you. Next question.
Listen, I'm not done.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Well, they muted me. I'm sorry.
I'm listening to you. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know you could still hear me.
Yes.
Let me be very plain with you.
Okay.
I was not a Yvonne Walker loyal or Yvonne Walker liker. So don't get that twisted at all with me, okay?
Okay.
And I'll say that on this call with everybody on it. I was not a 100% fan of hers. But I know that what I do for all of our members. All of them. Not separated. Do you pay dues? Do you not pay dues? Let me make that plain. Me as a one human being, Karen Franklin, Stewart for SEIU Local 1000. I do not separate. Whether anybody else does, that's up to them. I do not. I represent everybody because we are all in this fight together. I know the importance of doing stuff, but your statement of why can't the staff do that? That's like saying, why do we need a damn president? Why can't the staff do what the work of the president does? Because we need a president in that seat. We need the vice presidents in that seat. We need certain people in certain positions because we know the work. We do the work. The staff doesn't know our work. They don't do our work. We know what we do. So it's very important that we fight for it because we are in it.
And so let me be crystal clear again with you. First of all, represent employees represents everybody in this union. Dues paying employees are people who pay dues to the union and they have the right to vote along with some other privileges. So I'm not going to confuse my words. You may not like that, but as your president, this is what it is. So y'all can keep saying it. Wait, let me finish.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone can say what you want to say. By that contract, we take care of represent employees. And if you look on our website, they tell you on complaints, we will not represent you. But if it's on a grievance, it's contract related, we will, because you're a dues paying member. When they did that Janus decision. So please, you can't have it both ways.
But I didn't make that decision. I never said I had it both ways. And I never said I didn't like that. That was not, no words that ever came out of my mouth. So let me tell you, like you just told me, don't twist my words.
Okay.
I never, ever followed that. I will represent anybody, whether they pay dues or not. That doesn't matter to me because they are still the people that work side by side with me in my department or any other department as a state employee.
Okay.
So let's get that straight about me.
Okay. And so let me end this by saying this. As the president of Local 1000, you hear me say represent employees. I don't say members. But you have a great night, and I'm sure on the next Stewart call, we'll engage all over again. Next caller, please.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome, ma'am. You're welcome, ma'am.
So do you want me to drop down to Kevin Healy?
Yes, please do. Thank you.
Well, that was cold. Dropping down to the Kevin Healy level. That's probably going to be the most memorable line of this whole thing. Kevin Healy, 752. This is an awkward position to be in. And I'm just going to share for the rest of you. I probably knew you close to the beginning because I was there at the count. And I'm going to revisit some of the things I said to you when we walked out of that counting room. I want you to be successful. I want you to surround yourself with good people because it doesn't do any of us any good if we fail. And one thing that, I don't know if you want to announce it later, but I know about your dealings with staff at 4 o'clock today, and I applaud that. You supported the status quo to bridge us until you know more. Talking about dealing with the URC. And I think that was a very smart thing for you to do. And I went, okay, Richard's getting it. That's a good move. You and I were both in the service. Did you ever go through a change of command ceremony?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what the first order of the new commander is? All existing orders stay in effect. And then over the next 2 or 3 weeks, they put their fingerprint on the command, which you have every right to do. But what I am suggesting to you and I am imploring to you is if you shake things up so much, there may not be a whole lot left. And that's why I think you made a very good decision when it came to the URC and keeping people in place until we can figure out how you can put your stamp on it and how you can change it, because the members come first. And tying in with what Louisa said and what Susan said, there are a lot of moving parts. And I tried calling you beforehand. I don't know if you saw my call pop up before the phone call.
Right.
But I wanted to have a little bit of this discussion with you offline. But while I have you, I'll say it in front of anybody. I will help you succeed any way you can. I will help educate you on these points. Doesn't mean I'm going to agree with you. There will be several times I will disagree. I'll say that straight up. And I will implore you, because 2 weeks ago, I had some people come by my home and yell out from the car as they drove by because they found out my home address. 10 points, get with it, get over it. So, you know what? Your comments have an impact. Just as scared as you were, you won't be able to identify them, but I'm just saying is you are now in a power position probably more powerful than you ever dreamed. And one little slip of the tongue to someone where you would go, I never told you to do that, and mean it, and they go off and do something because think of all the people that were doing things for different presidents of the United States. And the president's probably going, I never said for you to do that. So just please think of your words before they come out, because some people act on them the wrong way.
And so
Go ahead. What I also wanted to touch on, because, I had a lot of experience with the URC before. One of the huge projects that we work on, and I've got a case that's about to go to binding arbitration, health and safety at San Quentin. It's going to affect everybody who's getting locked in involuntarily with mass murderers, okay? The chairs have to be involved in that because this is a member-led union. So anytime we have an arbitration that's going up, it doesn't go off to arbitration unless it has the stamp of it. Mine was about 175 pages that I had to develop on my own time over the last 2 weeks to get this thing ready, and the various chairs had to say, yes, this is how we are going to protect our members. So that's one of the other little things on top of the notices that they do. I would just implore you, because I think Yvonne was trying to do you a favor of giving you the chance to start with a fresh slate. Every outgoing cabinet, president of the United States, they say, everybody give me your resignations. We're going to start with a fresh slate. If the new person wants it, they can put them on it or continue them over. I think at least like you did for the URC, you should continue the chairs over so they can do the important work. Even if it's a month, even if it's 2 months, whatever it may be, because you may be righteously mad at what Yvonne left you. It may have been kind of like, what was it when they took away all the W keys when... there was a change of the presidency. I don't care. I care about the members. So do the chairs. So do so many of us here. Is just make sure that all our people are protected, and that comes with institutional knowledge. And you can put your stamp on that later. But that has been the status quo for a long time, and it worked. And I implore you to do that. But one last thing, and I've got to address the elephant in the room, and I wanted to discuss it with you privately, but I've got it from over 10 different sources. If a person is suspended from the state for misconduct, will you exclude them from getting union leave? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, repeat. You said if someone is excluded or suspended?
Yeah, if there is a person, a steward, who is suspended from the state of California for misconduct,
right?
Will you allow them to go on union leave to get around that? Or are you going to enforce the same thing too? Because if they're ineligible, they shouldn't be going out on union leave. And if you I will discuss the specific person, but there is someone that you want to immediately put on union leave, and it's not Annika, who, from every report, has been suspended from his department for a long time for misconduct that otherwise would get someone terminated. And I don't think it's appropriate as a president, DLC president, board member, to you, that you might be putting that person out on long-term union leave. And I will gladly discuss it with you offline if you want more details.
So, okay, so wait a minute. I'm gonna go back for a second before I talk about this particular, whoever this person is. You said that someone came by your house and they yelled 10 points or whatever. Yeah. When you and I had that interesting conversation a few weeks ago, I have that police report of that 911 dispatch call on my website. And I'm going to still sit down with Police Daniel Hahn about that situation. So if someone came to your house and they yelled that out, I would ask you, where's your police report? Where's your 911 dispatch call? So, you're saying that, but I don't know if that's true or not, and I don't know if that's associated with me. But what I can tell you is this. The police were at my house, and I survived the police stop. Okay? And I'm going to dig in on that, and I'm not backing up. And you said you called the police to find out if what I was saying was true. And to me, that was a slap in my face, and that was going against my integrity. I'm not backing off that, period. Exactly. Okay, now we'll move on. But let's move on. Let's move on to what you said about this person.
10 seconds on that, because I want to be clear. That person called 911. That's why you have a tape. I had someone driving by my house, and the neighbor overheard them shouting it at my house.
Okay.
So I didn't call the police because I can't prove anything other than they heard, what the hell's 10 points? Get with it, get over it. But that's disturbing.
Okay, and that is disturbing. I mean, because I'm not questioning your integrity, but what I'm telling you is when you called the police to question mine, I had a problem with that, and I'm going to always have a problem with that. But let's get to what your second point. You're stating that there's a possibility there's an employee or a representative employee, or I guess a job steward of Local 1000 that you're saying may have been suspended.
Do you want me to give you the name?
You know what? You know what? You done brought all this out anyway, so you might as well. Because Richard DeReal, if I say, hey, bring it to me. Now, if what you're getting ready to say, if it's going to break the policy file or break someone's privacy or whatever, you're an attorney. You tell me how it goes down. You're smarter than I am.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to discuss with you.
Again,
as a matter of course, if you were to find out that someone is currently suspended from, their duties for misconduct, and they're not drawing a state paycheck,
right?
Are you then going to put that person on union leave?
Well,
or would you also honor that suspension?
Wait a minute. Since people are so worried about my behavior and my words and how I act, then I'm going to ask you respectfully, let's talk offline so we can improve the perception of our union. Is that fair enough?
That's why I tried calling you a half hour ago. Should be on
I barely got on this Zoom. I'm barely doing the Stewart call. Okay. So everything's been in a flux today, but Frank Askin said, you do all that talk. He didn't say that out of his mouth, but basically what he's saying is you do all that talk about being transparent and being upfront. Well, then let's see you go to work off top since you're unscripted, unedited, unrehearsed. He's right to call me out on that. And so that's why I'm here. I missed your call. After the Stewart call is over, you can call and educate me, and we can have a professional conversation so we don't destroy the image of Local 1000. Is that fair enough?
Absolutely. That's why I called. But one last thing before I click off.
Okay.
Please ask the staff about the involvement of the chairs when it comes to arbitrations. Because are you familiar with the ARP panels when things get elevated up?
Let's talk about this since we're so worried about the perception of the union.
No, this is a different thing.
Right. But
now I'm back to the
okay, wait a minute. We've talked. You've said some powerful things, Kevin, as you always do, Kevin Healy. And we're going to talk offline. And then we're going to go to these next callers. Is that fair enough?
Just happy Pride, everybody.
Okay, happy Pride to you as well. Next caller.
Hey, next we have Misty Del Rosario.
Hi.
Okay, so I just wanted to kind of back up Susan Rodriguez because I'm going to give you an example of what she does.
Okay.
That maybe you don't know about.
Okay.
And this is very important that she is a part of because she's been a part of this and helping this. I work for DIR Workers' Comp. And DIR right now has about 158 represented MSTs that they're looking at the promotion they received about 3.5 years ago, and they're saying it's misallocated, and they're trying to demote all of us to OT, which is a 5% pay cut. Okay, so we are in the process of fighting this, and Susan is very active in trying to get that done. If you pull Susan off of the union leave that she has, then we're not going to have a represented voice. Now, we do have a staff member, but the fact of the matter is that staff member does not have the reality of what our work sites are because they're not a state employee, and they have never been a state employee. They're very good at their job. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about that staff member, but we need, as represented employees, the personal touch of another employee of the state to understand what we are going through when we are going through these issues. Susan's already involved in our issue. We trust Susan. She's been doing her calls. She's been talking to us. She's been holding Zoom meetings for us. This is all very labor intensive for her. And if you pull her out, there's a very good chance that we're all just going to get demoted without having any say. And that's why I'm going to ask you very respectfully to please reconsider the work that the bargaining unit chairs do for our members and for our represented, not just our members. This particular issue isn't about members. It's about
you're supposed to put those up on the shelf.
There's 158 of us there's 158 of us that are represented that are fighting to keep, you know, some of our positions. We're fighting to, you know, we didn't do anything. We're not getting demoted because we're in trouble. We're getting demoted because somebody else didn't do their job right. And so the state 3.5 years later thinks it's okay to give us a 5% pay cut. Okay? So it's like very important for the bargaining unit chairs to be out. And I just want you to understand that and understand it's not a bunch of people out not doing anything. They're doing a lot of labor intensive work. The represented and the members prefer having a coworker, essentially, someone else who works for the state, to represent them because they feel that there's an understanding and they connect with them more. If you can understand that.
I do.
I hope I made sense.
No,
to you.
I do. I'm listening to you.
It's just a plea for you to please consider, especially, you know, right now, we're right in the middle of this. It's been going on, you know, for like since January. And it's, you know, 6 months down the line. And for us to change who's running this, you know, program for us it could be disastrous. It could be disastrous.
And you're saying that's for bunk chair 1, but you're also saying that this.
For the members, so I just want.
So you're talking on behalf of.
Sorry, I can barely hear you.
I'm said you're talking on behalf, in support of Susan Rodriguez for bunk chair 1, but are you also supporting these other bunk chairs as well?
Yes, well, because it goes to show that I'm using Susan as an example specifically, and because she spoke. But the bunk chairs do things like this, where they don't just represent our members. They do represent our members, but they don't just represent our members. In cases like this, they're representing our non-member represented employees as well. It's not just about the members. It is about the members, but it's also about our coworkers, our other employees of the state, our non-represented, you know, the people they could be represented by the union, but they chose not to. They chose not to be members for whatever reason. It's neither here nor there, but they're representing them too in this situation. And it's incredibly important that we don't change who is leading this fight right now. We've been 6 months doing this. And it's frightening. If you're going to take her out, and then we have to start all over from scratch with somebody new. The state, they don't care. They don't care if we lost our person who's been working for 6 months on this with us. They don't care about that. They don't care that we have to start from scratch. They're going to want their stuff. They're going to want it now. They have deadlines. We're, you know, following the deadlines with Susan. You know, there's 158 of us is what I believe it is. 158 of us that are represented by the union.
Okay.
We're not all members.
So.
But we're all important. We're all important. And it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people, but there is.
So someone just sent a text saying the bunk chair should submit detailed requests and should be approved on a proven track record, case by case basis only. Now I've heard that before. I know it's getting late, and I've gotten on the people here at the union, the staff. They're a little tired of working with me today. It was a slip. They love me. They're a little tired of you know, they put in a long day with me. So I didn't get to answer everyone's questions. Now, you know, I could send everybody home. I could just keep working from the building. I have a key. I can keep this going. But the person who's also running this, Lisa Matheson, she's tired too. So if you want, we can stop this. We can let everybody go home. I'll go home. I'll plug my phone in, and we'll continue this Facebook Live, and I'll go through each person's question until you're satisfied. What do you want to do? What do? Nobody wants to. All right. So what we'll try to do then? We'll try this all over again.
We are all muted. What do you expect?
We're all muted.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry. Let them. Yeah, unmute everybody.
some of y'all have spoken forever tonight and not let other people. We need to have 2 to 3 minutes per speaker and not let them give a dissertation on the call.
But Ron, hold on, wait a minute, hold on, wait, hold on, wait, hold on 1 second. Ron, you're right, people should talk within 2 or 3 minutes, but when people are passionate and they're deadly serious, I try to shut my mouth and let people go on their discussion.
Shut other people down.
I apologize for that. I apologize for that. So here's what we'll do. We'll do this again next Wednesday night, and we'll do it.
Let us get in queue under Yvonne. I was in queue for 3 years and never got her. So I mean, we got to really time these calls.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. Next Wednesday, we're gonna start these Stewart calls a little earlier, and we're gonna try to get people to talk within 2 or 3 minutes, and we're gonna let these people keep being passionate and keep fighting for what they believe in, and we're gonna get this worked out. I want to thank everyone.
Thank you, Richard.
For calling in.
Richard, real quick.
Yes.
Next week, can you just make sure that we can get in? Because I know I sat in the queue to try to get on the Zoom for like 20 minutes before I was even allotted in.
Wait, I forgot. And I apologize for that. We may have to go to either next Tuesday, because Wednesday is going to be a meeting. It's going to be open to everyone. It's going to be the emergency board meeting. So, yeah, I see you, Ronald. I see you, Ronald. Listen.
Hey, Richard, I was cut off. I didn't get to ask you the question.
Wait a minute. Hold on. No, wait, stop. Wait, hold on, Robert. Okay, we're gonna end this meeting right now, and we're gonna do this not next Wednesday. We'll probably do it next Tuesday. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the passion, and I'll talk to you very soon. Have a great night.
Richard.